Hello and welcome everybody to the 16.3 edition of Inside the Leaderboard. Today we're going to start by focusing on that one movement that everybody had their eye on once Dave Castro huffed and puffed his way through one round of demoing the workout, and that's the bar muscle up. Specifically, the breakdown of athletes doing bar muscle ups in this workout. For many, it was an opportunity to get there first, and for some, it was an opportunity to flex their new gymnastics skills that they worked over the off season. Let's take a look at how the muscle ups were broken down. I want you guys to pay attention to the first three lines. This is the number of athletes that got either 1, 2, or 3 muscle ups total in the entirety of the workout. Not only is it possible that these are the athletes that got their first few muscle ups either under the umbrella of competition or period, it's also the athletes that, whether you already had a muscle up, stuck with it and ground through the whole workout all 7 minutes despite maybe not necessarily hitting a number that you wanted. In total, 40% of all scores submitted RX'd or scaled had a muscle up in it, so congrats to all the people that hit that. As promised in the update show, we're going to give you guys a little bit more in-depth look in the bubble watch scenario. We're going to start by taking a look at what the projected cut line for some of the athletes making it to regionals. Starting with the men, this is the total projected points and average finish for athletes. We broke it up by regions that get 10, 20, and 30 spots going to regionals. Now, this is what the projected is after 5 weeks. So if you're one of the athletes that's on either end of this line, use these numbers as kind of your guide for what you might need to hit in the workouts going in week 4 and week 5. On the women's side, the projected points and the average finish are a little bit more competitive. You look at all three numbers across the board for the projected points are lower than the men, and the average finish is lower as well. So we have a little bit more competitive race for regionals over on the women's side. Now, with these numbers in mind, there's a handful of athletes, we're specifically talking the Games athletes from 2014 and 2015 that are on the bubble of not making it to regionals. We have a couple of big name athletes here. Well, Michelle Kinney, she's trying to make her way back from a torn hip labrum injury that kept her out last year. She's currently 23rd in the Southwest. Nick Uranker, Jeff Evans, a couple of heavy hitters from the Central East and the Southeast in 24th and 30th place heading into week 4 of the Open. And 4-time Games athlete Gretchen Kittelberger is currently in 34th place in the Mid-Atlantic, so she has some ground to make up these last 2 weeks if she wants to make it to regionals. That does it for this edition of Inside the Leaderboard. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone. So if you guys are sticking around for our open announcement later tonight, grab yourself a Guinness, maybe a green beer, and check it all out at games.crossfit.com.